how was Shankara born? Both Shiva Guru and Aryamba had a dream. Shiva Guru had a dream which she shared it. And Lord Shiva appeared in the dream and gave an option. Do you want an all-illuminating sun but short-lived, or a long sun, a long life awaited sun who may not be prominent as in the case of the first category? Without even waiting for a second, the parents opted for the first category. And that's how Adi Shankara was born to them. Nature gave only 8 years of lifespan to Saint Adi Shankara. Just 8 years. And Shankara is known, all of us know what Shankara would mean. He's nothing but a bestower of happiness. If we understand, all of us, the modern mind looks at a date chart. What did one do between their birth and their departure? If you see the date chart of Adi Shankara, it's simply baffling to a modern mind. At the age of 1, he has gained proficiency in all the languages. At the age of 1. In his second year, he has mastered Kavyas and Puranas. 5th year, Upanayanam is performed without his father, who died when Shankara was just 3 years old. Between the 5th year and the 7th year, he has mastered all the 4 Vedas, Vedantas, Veda Ankas, and every auxiliary study relating to Veda and Vedic knowledge. So he completed acquiring knowledge within 7 years. 8th year, his guru gives him the sannyasa when he was just an 8-year-old tender child. In the 12th year, he completes writing the commentaries on the Prasthanatraya, Bhagavad Gita, 10 principal Upanishads, and the Brahma Sutra at the age of 12. At the age of 16, he has in fact, at 8 years, when he was about to take sannyasam, Agastya extended his life from 8 years to 16 years. He said, nature gifted you 8 years, let me gift you 8 more years for you. And therefore, he completed all his works at the age of 12 and got it duly validated by Bhagavan Vyasa at the age of 16. And said before the lotus feet of Bhagavan Vyasa, my time to depart has come. May I do that in your presence? Vyasa says, then it will be an half-served purpose. You have completed your writings, but world should know your writings. You should establish the supremacy, because 72 different schools of thought were prevalent at the time of advent of Adi Shankara. And therefore, Bhagavan Vyasa said, let me extend your life by another 16 years. So 8 became 16, and 16 became 32. And in the balance 16 years, he has traveled into India thrice. Stayed in Sringeri longest, 12 long years out of the 32. In one place, holy Sringeri. Debated, convinced, persuaded, brought every school of thought. It all got subsumed into the supremacy of Advaita. And at 32, after ascending the Sarvagya Peetham at Kashmir, goes to Badri, goes to Kedar, and disappears and merges into his holy abode at Shivaloka. Does it not baffle our minds? And Digvijayam says, in Vedas, he looked like Brahma. In Vedanta, he looked like Vyasa. In karmas, he looked like Jaimini. The power of speech, he looked like Saraswathi. In courage, he looked like Durga. In glory, he looked like Mahalakshmi. And in patience, he just looked like Bhuma Devi. We only see multi-complex temples in modern world. All deities housed in one human form is Adi Shankara. Now, for anybody who believes in Guru Tattvam, what is paramount is how did he reach his Guru and how did his Guru take him? I think there can't be a more supreme moment to anybody in one's life than meeting with the Guru and the love and nurture the Guru gives on his Sishya. He takes to sannyasam under tried circumstances. It was a trap. He was the only child to his mother who would not condescend to this request at any point of time. And after all, she knew that he is not going to stay beyond 8 years, and with the mercy of Agastya, it has been extended to 16 years. She would like to have the son only with her. So, the crocodile story is built into Digvijayam to say, when he was bathing, it's the crocodile which was about to eat him. It caught his feet. And he therefore virtually bargained with his mother. You want me to see alive or dead? If you want to see me alive, allow me to take to sannyasa. Then the crocodile will not do anything. That's how the promise is given. Extracts a promise. She grants sannyasa and extracts a promise that I'm willingly giving you can take to sannyasa. And scriptures say that if for a bachelor to go to sannyasa ashramam, if mother is alive, the blessings and the consent of mother is mandatory. And therefore, she said, you are my only child. If you take to sannyasa, who will be by my side at the time of death? So Shankara gave 2 promises. I will be by your side and I will take care of you. And therefore, question, when I come to that section, I will deal with it. Questions have been raised. How can a sannyasi be by his mother's side and perform the rites? Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam has answered it so beautifully in one of his lectures. So, he becomes a sannyasi at age of 8, adorns a kashaya vastram, takes the dandam and the kamandalam, and from Kaladi proceeds to Narmada, which is in Madhya Pradesh. Reaches river Narmada and the beautiful cave in which his guru was meditating, Saint Govinda Bhagavatpada. The cave is even today there for worship. How was the meeting? What did the Guru offer first to his Sishya? A Sishya who's so unique in every aspect of life. It's a cave almost closed, says the commentary. And his Guru first took his holy feet out of the cave and blessed the holy head of Adi Shankara. It's not a meeting, it was not a greeting, it was not a prostration, it was not a namaskaram. The holy feet of a Guru touching the Sishya's head. What else do you need at that moment? See, Shankara is the avataram of Shiva. That's our faith. So, there is no need to get an evolutionary workout in this manner. After all, he's an evolved soul. He's a sarvagyan by himself. But the message that is driven to is, if a Sarvagyan at that age is a Sishya, the Sishya has to be initiated into the path of emancipation by a Guru. There is no exception to this law. Just no exception. If the most divine form, assuming a human form, has to go through the process of realization, and the realization comes only through the initiation by one's own Guru. And therefore, to evidence that and record it as part of history, Shankara was initiated into eternal bliss by his Guru, Govinda Bhagavatpada. And Digvijayam describes beautifully how was the 8-year-old boy looking at that time. Was he so competent to be emancipated instantaneously? Digvijayam records, when he stood before his Guru, he was an embodiment manifesting very clearly as one who has acquired the 4 basic virtues, what we call it as sadhana chatushti. Vivekam, Vairagyam, the 6 virtues, Shat Sampat, Shamadama, and finally Mumukshutvam. Vairagyam, Vivekam is, in our understanding, is discriminatory knowledge, the ability to discriminate between truth and the untruth. Vairagyam is the ability to remain non-attached. Vairagyam is not abandonment. Vairagyam is non-attachment. You can be in the thick of things. Because Shankara was a yogi, a karma yogi. He was so active all throughout his life, but completely detached. Then you have the samadama, in short, sense control, mind control, tolerant to external and internal forces. And 2 important criteria in the 6 virtues are Shraddha and Samadhi. And Shringeri Acharyas, whenever they divine discourse of Anugraha Bhashanam, when they take to the expression Shraddha, you can listen any lecture of any Acharya. They have always been giving one consistent interpretation. Shraddha has 2 components. Unflinching, unquestionable loyalty to the Vedic scriptures. And secondly, undoubted faith and surrender to the words of the Guru. Whatever the Guru says is final. So, one who is bestowed with these 2 virtues is called a person with Shraddha in scriptural standards. When it comes to Samadhi, delusions, lethargy, sleeplessness, distractions, a mind sands all these negativities. And Mumukshutvam is the longing to get emancipated. Imagine a child, 8-year-old child, standing before his Guru with all these virtues. Will then not the Guru step out to ensure that such a soul is emancipated? And how was the emancipation? What is the emancipation process? Instantaneously, he was initiated into all the 4 Mahavakyas from all the 4 Vedas. All the 4 Mahavakyas. When it comes to Rigvedam, Prajnanam Brahma. Yajurvedam, Aham Brahmasmi. Samavedam, Tattvamasi. And Atharvana Vedam, Ayam Atma Brahma. To get near any one of the Mahavakyam takes millions of births. And somebody gets all the 4 at once. And that is Adi Shankara. On getting this initiation, Govinda Bhagavatpada narrates a wonderful incident. He said to Shankara, when Bhagavan Vyasa had the occasion to have a meeting with Bhagavan Vyasa, I had requested him to write a commentary for his Vedanta Sutras. Because he has written the sutras, but its interpretation looked manifold and completely deviating from what was intended. So Govinda Bhagavatpada asked Bhagavan to write the commentary. And Bhagavan Vyasa said, I don't have to do it. Wait for your Sishya to come. Then Govinda Bhagavatpada asks, how do I know that that is the Sishya who is competent to write? How will I know that? Then Vyasa says, don't worry. One day, to your surprise, you will find a Sishya who is able to control and just hold the entire spate of flood of Reva river into his Kamandalu. You will see that divine feat in your life. The person who does that will be the competent Sishya to author the commentaries on Brahma Sutras, on all the Sutras, Brahma Sutra and the Prasthanatrayam. And says, when Shankara actually brought the flood, which was in spate, into his Kamandala, said, you are the Sishya to do this. And said, please proceed to Kashi. You will have the divine blessings of Lord Shiva and Matha Annapoorni. She will shower her choicest blessings.